Thanks for sticking with us.
Oh goodness. What else we
Well,
got
we,
on?
we do have some gaming stuff here. Tell
Yeah.
tell me about the Steam Deck. I'm very interested
Ah.
to hear about this.
Yeah. So our Discord room has been lit the fuck up talking about this. And if you guys want to be part of that conversation, swing on by the show notes. There is a link for our Discord room in there. Or if you are in the Twitch chat, just type exclamation point Discord. That'll work too. So Steam Deck. It is a handheld computer from Valve. It looks very similar to a Switch. It's got an LCD screen in the middle, two thumbsticks on one on the left, one on the right. You know, very very common control scheme, right? And there's two thumb pads just underneath the analog sticks. I believe those are for like touch controls. And it has access to your entire Steam library. And they're starting at $3.99, which is what, $50 more than the Switch OLED, I think.
I think so.
They have different models that have different features, different hard drive space, things like that. But this is essentially a pretty powerful Linux build computer that I think people are very excited about because it gives a lot of potential to potential modding community. Most of the people that I've spoken to, like, they're excited about having access to their Steam library in a handheld, but they're more excited about the possibilities of what the community can do with it, because it's
Um,
going to be if it's not crackable, it will be cracked.
I yes, I can certainly see that, and I apologize if you mentioned this already, but is this thing dockable?
No. So
Okay.
I think you can display it on the TV, but it doesn't have like a dock specifically. Let's
So
see
you
here.
can like sort of AirPlay it or whatever. You can
Yeah.
project it up that way.
Let me see if I can find a little bit more information, because it does say that it will play on a TV, but I'm not sure if it's yeah. So I guess you can use it as a PC. They're saying use your deck as a PC because it is one, and they're showing somebody literally with their dock or with their Steam Deck next to them, and they have a mouse and keyboard in front of them, and they're doing whatever. It could be plugged into the TV if you have the right cables. I guess it uses a USB-C wire, which can carry video, audio, etc. Just plug it in your peripherals or use the official dock. So there is a dock. So I apologize for the misinformation there. There is a dock that you can use.
Okay, this is good news.
Yeah.
This is really good news because I'm not, everybody knows at this point that I'm not a huge fan of handhelds because I'm not
Mm.
really a on-the-go gamer. But man, I could say the screen looks glorious.
Yeah, it's sharp looking. I guess the dock is something that's going to be sold separately. They haven't released too much information on that yet, which is kind of why it fell under my radar. But I mean, like, you have and they're showing like actual gameplay pictures, in their images. So like if you go on their main page, steamdeck.com, like they're showing somebody playing Jedi Fallen Order. And there's a thing there that
Dude,
says
oh my
it
God, it
says
looks so good.
actual gameplay running on prototype hardware. Like, if this is how good this is running on prototype, like, I can only imagine what it's going to look like on the final version, right?
I've been watching this clip. I don't know. I probably watched it like 50 times because I've just been watching it the whole time you've been explaining this. And I've just been sitting here thinking, why don't I listen to Drew? Why am I not playing this game right now? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, look at it.
So you should
It's raining. You're on a train.
uninstall Skyrim, uninstall Call of Duty.
Dude, I'm biting. I mean, my God. It's just, it doesn't even look like a game.
Dude, you know how like 2 weeks ago you were talking about having fun with a video game, and you were talking about
Yes.
Astro's Playroom, right? And how much fun and how much
Yes.
joy that game brought you. I think you'll have a similar amount of fun with Fallen Order. I really do. It's obviously not the same type of game, but that game is fun. It is so much fun to play.
Holy crap, it looks so good. I
It
mean, I don't
is.
need to tell you that twice, but like, geez.
And that's like the first stage. Like, that's like within 30 minutes of playing the game. Like, that happens.
Maybe I did play this
I think you
sequence
did.
already. I probably did.
I think you did.
But maybe the guy playing is just doing cooler things like with the lightsaber. And I was just probably running with it or something.
Let me just run up to these dudes and slash them.
So what was the other what was the other Steam situation before this? Was it the Steam box, the
Yeah.
Valve box, or something like that?
So Steam has or Valve has a history with peripherals and hardware, and it's not pretty. They have done, I think it was a Steam box, like you said. Let's see here, Steam box, and that was basically a PC, but
Yes.
so they called it a Steam machine, and there were a few different variations of it. It's supposed to be just something you put like right underneath your TV. It was basically like a legit console, and it just never caught on. It flopped. I don't know if it was a price thing or what it was, but just never worked out. They've released a Steam controller, which I actually got mine from Vic. I think I paid like 10 or 15 bucks for it. He bought it, never used it. I bought it off of him, never used it. It's just not great, man. It has a single analog stick and the four buttons that we're used to, and you have your triggers, and then above it are two circular touchpads, which are supposed to be kind of like a halfway between a direction pad and an actual mouse. And they function well, but the controller it's just not great. It's missing that something, right? And then they came up with this other device called the Steam Link, which is very small. And this is one thing that I'm surprised didn't catch on bigger. But the Steam Link really isn't much bigger than my cell phone. Maybe up to here in height, maybe out to here in width, right? It's got a power cord in the back of it, a USB cord in the back of it, HDMI, and Ethernet, and that's it. And basically, the idea is you link it to your Steam account, you have it on the same network as your main gaming PC, but it's in a different room. It's connected to your television, and you can use any USB controller you like with it, and you can play your games from your Steam library on your big screen. And that surprisingly does work pretty well. Unfortunately, the types of games that I own really don't translate to that big screen well. I do a lot of strategy gaming on the PC, so I need that mouse and keyboard, and it just doesn't go to a controller in a comfortable fashion. So I've hardly ever used it. I was dabbling with the Steam Link when I was trying to get like emulation from my computer onto my TV, and that does work. But the problem that I was encountering with that is a lot of the emulators have combinations of keys, like hotkeys that'll bring up menus. And a lot of those same combinations of keys were also shared with the Steam Link to bring up the Steam Link menus. And the two were just clashing with each other. And I was like trying to exit a game. Every time I tried to exit a game, it would bring up the Steam Link menu and I couldn't get anywhere. It was a very frustrating experience. I'm sure if I just took some time, could have rebound them to something else. But I was just like, this isn't worth it. So I just unplugged it and, didn't use it again. I only paid $5, so whatever. But, case in point.
Hmm. So ultimately, who is this thing for?
Well, apparently everybody in our Discord, because at least I know Puck's. All right, if memory serves me correctly, Pucksor got one. Jimmy, son of a Fitch, got one. Joe got one. I'm trying to think of who else was interested in it. I know quite a few people. Like, if did Scooby? No, Scooby didn't pre-order one. There's a lot of people that were interested in it. And the cool thing is, and I got to give Valve credit for this. I know it wasn't a completely 100% smooth launch, but the way they did it was $5 down, you reserve a spot.
Mm-hmm.
First come, first serve. So if I go in now and I try to reserve one, I probably could. I might not get it until June of next year, but I've got a reserve down. This is completely contradictory to the Xbox and PlayStation launch. Completely contradictory to the Switch OLED launch.
Mm-hmm.
And people are still scalping these fucking things. You go on eBay and somebody's like, "Yo, I got one for $5,000." It's like, dude, it's $649. Go fuck yourself.
Oh my God. So you're saying it's $5 to reserve it?
$5 to reserve, and then you pay the balance when it's due.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a classic GameStop pre-order
Right.
reservation.
Right.
Classic. I don't think they do 5 anymore. They might. They probably upped it knowing GameStop, but back in the day it was $5.
Yeah. That's how I got my 360. The same way that Valve is doing it now in 2021 is how I got my 360. I put down 5 smackaroos, and the Xbox came out in November, and my time wasn't up yet until April, but I got it in April. First come, first serve, right? None of
Well, I
this,
tell you what,
none of
man.
this lottery bullshit.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. I think this thing's for me, and I'm going to tell you why.
Ooh.
My entire life, I have never owned a PC that was capable of doing proper PC gaming, ever. And it's been bothering me since I've been like 16 years old. And the closest I ever got to owning a PC was probably my custom, but even then, back when I had it, it still just didn't run games that well. And with the iMac, same kind of thing. It was a powerhouse when I first got it, but still not powerful enough to run something like Crysis or whatever. Maybe not the greatest example, but I want something. And here's the thing. I will likely never have a PC that's strong enough to PC game because I don't know if I really want to invest the money into a rig again.
Right.
I'm kind of married to Apple at this point. So I think the best thing for me to do is to get this Steam Deck and be able to play, quote unquote PC games with a Steam console, if you will, and dock it to my TV. And by then I'll hopefully have a 4K TV. And then I can play all of these PC games that I do have on Steam and really any other PC game at my leisure.